half the time when I hear the podcast back, everything 5 seconds before this countdown is still on there too.
Because I start recording.
Right.
Audio before. That's why I'm like, keep talking.
That's
I shouldn't have
smart.
told you that.
You trying to catch me in a cancelable moment? Like those did you see those newscasters talking shit about the I don't even know what fucking sport. I guess he's a soccer player. The guy who's fucking stuck in Australia or whatever because he didn't get vaccinated and he went out when he had COVID or some shit like that.
Hold on. I can't hear you.
You're fucking lying. But did you hear about that?
No.
Okay, well the newscasters. Oh wait, my bad. There's a theme song playing.
See it.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of I Didn't See It, But I Believe You. I'm Doug.
I'm Joel, and you're listening to episode 131.
That's so bizarre. How bizarre. Anyway, so you're talking about
baby, you're making me crazy. Thank you, ONC, I believe is what that dude was called.
Wait, hold on. So a guy in Australia did what now?
Okay, let me make sure I've got this right. So there's some fucking sports guy or fucking F1 guy. He's either a soccer player or an F1 driver.
Holy
And
shit, Joel.
I know. And he went to some country for his sport and lied about being vaccinated.
Okay.
And then now they won't let him leave this country that he's in to get on a plane to go back to where he's from or some shit like that.
We'll show you.
I 0% have kept up with this. I don't give a shit. But 2 days ago on the news, after they went off air, the two reporters didn't realize that they were still recording them on the camera and shit. And they're like, what a fucking asshole. You know, what an asshole. Even if he didn't do anything wrong, he's just a fucking dickbag. They're just roasting the shit out of this dude on the air. But they're not even on some agenda shit. They're just like, man, what a fucking dick. It's just a very real moment from newscasters. And I saw it and I was like, man, I would watch the news all the time if they were just like, oh, this dude's a piece of shit. And now to Carolyn with the weather.
So let's just get right into where all James Webb is out in the universe.
The James Webb Space Telescope countdown.
So I guess so, whatever. I'm like, whatever. I guess it is a countdown considering that it has a lifespan. Again, Hubble telescope's been in the
9 years left.
It's been 600 kilometers away from Earth for the past 30 years, and they just enhance it and make it better and better. The James Webb-y is going to be 1,000,000 miles away, and it can only work. They're saying, well, we put it up there for 5 years. Maybe we'll get 10. It's $10 billion. So anyways, James Webb is James Webb Space Telescope. I know I can't. If this is your first time tuning in to
you can crank that music a little bit if you want. It's pretty quiet.
If this is the first time you've ever tuned into I Didn't See It, But I Believe You, just know that Joel and I, or me, I should say, have nothing against exploring the universe and figuring out where it all began and stuff. But it's just kind of bizarre when $10 billion is sunk into a telescope that luckily is working so far. And it's, we got like a lot of stuff going on, but whatever. At least we'll know if we're, how old we are.
It's like the rings on a tree.
So the James Webb Telescope is 86.5623% to Lagrange. And for those, just as friendly reminder, Lagrange is where it's going to be living, I guess, all of existence, but that's where it's going to be taking all its pictures from, or all the infrared captures, if you will. It's going to be in the weird little orbit. But anyways, we're almost there. Everything works. Right now, everything deployed. Everything they were nervous about, all of it works. It is completely... Hey, Amanda, what does that say? Individual, like... What does it say on the right? I can't see the right. Does it say anything about completely deployed? Anyways, so it's like completely.
Are you talking about the mirrors? Because I'm looking at the newest 6 hours ago. They were talking about getting all the mirrors out.
Yeah, but remember they were talking about like you had to do all the shield and stuff. Everything's out. Everything works.
Right.
Mirrors
Okay.
now they're adjusting the mirrors that make the big mirror to get it ready to where
The big like hexagon honeycomb looking thing.
Yes, but it's not even. It's not Lagrange yet. They still have to get it all complete, and then they have to do a thruster to get it into L2 orbit to do its thing. So what if they could still? It's like next thing you know, it's like going to Pluto. You know what I mean? There's no Lagrange over there. You know what I mean?
Right. It takes a wrong turn at Albuquerque. It just ends up completely lost. Right.
Yeah, which is such a strange expression. That's like an expression. Took a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
It's even weirder when you realize that it has no basis in any kind of like American culture or anything outside of the fact that Bugs Bunny said it once like 75 years ago and it's stuck.
Yeah, and there's like an actual town of Albuquerque in America, which makes sense. Okay, so anyways, we are almost there, but honestly, it was like 50% traveled in like 20 days. Mm-hmm. And to get the rest of the way, it's like slowed down tremendously. I don't know if that's like a thruster thing they're doing or whatever.
Probably. I would imagine to get out of our atmosphere and deep enough, like I would imagine they give it like a big put, like sort of like, you know, the way you push start a car. I imagine they sort of like the thrusters are pushing you fucking really hard and then it kind of just like coasts out. Sort of like fucking like in all the space movies, how like they have that really intense fucking and then they're up there, but then like in the next scene they're chilling and sipping like space coffee or whatever and everything's floating around. It's because they fucking got out of our atmosphere.
Yeah, that's exactly how I do it. Like push starting a car is a lot like sending a fucking rocket into space.
I just want to point out that the same person who just said what I said, me, got a text message from this guy, Doug, once recently that said, why don't you go work for Tesla? Bro, you just answered your own fucking question.
I meant it. I didn't mean go be an engineer, you fucking dick. I meant like, you know, go work on the floor at Tesla. Like go, you know, pick up a...
Yeah, I'd be on the floor. I would be on the floor, run over by a fucking car that I built incorrectly. Or I would accidentally program the autonomous shit wrong and make friends with it and then get attached to it, not want to let it go and be my friend. Be like, I'd name it Chris and I'll take it everywhere with this is Chris.
The Uber truck that you built or super truck you built, it's going to be like somebody's going to be driving around some sweet lady and all of a sudden it's just going to be like taking a right turn and it won't stop.
Like our favorite video?
Yeah. Dude, I showed Joel this video. I mean, I wish we had the capacity to put videos on this damn show. But of course, you and I are not willing to learn how, or you're not. I guess I could.
So to be fair, I tell you what, I have about 12 hours a day now where I can listen to whatever I want. So maybe I should just pull up some fucking like podcasts or videos about doing shit like this. But see, for me, if I can't see it while I'm doing it, it makes it a lot harder. I don't know if I would actually retain any of it.
There's YouTube videos too, I'm sure.
Well, no, I know, but I'm saying like I was thinking maybe I could just like mindlessly play like instructional shit while I work, but if I can't see it, I would be fucked up, and I can't watch a video while I work.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I work on a boat.
You work on a boat?
Yeah.
Oh, there's some. Oh, so my New Year's resolution. I don't believe in New Year's resolutions and stuff, but I did. I kind of made one just for shits and giggles. And it was to watch more movies. Just because,
hell yeah,
because you're always talking about movies. I'm like, never seen it. And it's like movies, they're like movies that I should just, for the context of the show and just like for like how much pop culture is like in our relationship and stuff. I need to be more.
You could bone up on your movie knowledge a little bit, sure, and I could bone up on my music knowledge, which would probably help you have a lot more free-flowing art conversations.
Maybe not. I mean, I don't listen as much new music as you would imagine.
That's true, but you listen to a lot of shitty old stuff that I've never heard of.
So, and also like what I'm doing is I'm telling myself, instead of scrolling for like 30 minutes, you know what I mean? Just watch a movie, you know? And if you really can't watch, if it sucks that bad, get it off or turn it off. But I'm also trying to watch the shitty movies too. I found myself in a really strange pickle. I ended up watching a movie called R.I.P.D. and it was featuring Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds. I'm like, oh, all-star cast and crew. The babe from Weeds. What's her name?
Mary Louise Parker.
Yes. And then, and I was just, dude, it was I finished it, but it was probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Oh, I agree.
There was no
fully
redeeming quality of it whatsoever.
No,
I didn't even understand how it got that far. Out of all the movies that make it to the big screen,
it's based on a very popular graphic novel. So that's how it got made. But let's be very clear here to anyone who has never heard of this, which is most of you, because this movie made like $12 at the box office. It fucking is literally the plot of Men in Black, but with death instead of a fucking secret like government agency. These motherfuckers die, and then they realize that they're actually now cops or something, right? If isn't that the basic conceit? They die and they become like this undead
alert.
Police force.
Ryan Reynolds' character dies and is all of a sudden in a
at the very beginning, right?
Yeah, and within minutes is in a police force that gets dead spirits that want to still be gangsters on Earth. It's so bizarre. I don't even know how to describe it.
It's Ghostbusters and Men in Black smashed together with none of the charm. Like 100% just those two movies mashed together.
Yeah, and it's not like to be scary or anything. It's just really awkward.
It is really awkward. And it's from 2013, which is like not a great time for movies. There was so many fucking bad movies, but like, man, you're right, dude. The pedigree, the cast, it's fucking there, man. It's fucking there. And I'm sitting here looking at like who is involved with it, and everyone involved with it is competent and has made a ton of great shit. At the same time that movie came out, the main producer, Neil Moritz, was making fucking Fast and the Furious and Jump Street and shit. So he was fucking cleaning up with good movies. The fucking cast is good. It's based on something that was popular, and yet it has a 12% Rotten Tomato score and a 25% Metacritic score. And I legitimately don't remember anything about it outside of the basic plot.
Yeah, it was doo-doo. So after that, I was like, I'm gonna watch another movie. So a movie that I've always heard about and has like a cult following, I would imagine is a good way to describe it, is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's a decent movie.
The movie is fine. I had a good time. Yeah. I need to rewatch it because I fell asleep like 3 times because it's kind of boring. But I mean, I could see how this is a really fun, exciting movie. That's based off of a book as well, right?
Yeah, and it's very charming. I thought it was very charming. The Rochester boys were real into it, and I was kind of not that into it back then. But when I worked at the bookstore, I mean, those books are massively popular still. And I flipped through it and was like, oh, these are charming. Yeah, there's like 3 of them, I think.
These are charming. It's charming. These are charming. It's charming. I use that.
It's charming. It's charming. These are charming. It's charming. Hey, YouTubers, somebody make that a song, please. Here's the beat. It's charming. These are charming. It's charming. Here, I'll even do a fade out. It's charming. These are charming. Wow. Oh yeah. Hey, real quick. Let me tell you guys a quick funny story. This is funny. I used to record with this dude. My old band used to record with this dude. He was a really good guy. He's no longer with us, but he had the fucking funniest recording of some band that came into his studio, and the dude was super cocky and was like, hey man, yeah, I do my own fade outs, bro, so don't even worry about it. And they were like a screamo band, and he said the vocalist went in the booth and went, yeah. And he made it his ringtone, and it fucking shit cracked me up every single time I would hear And then speaking of, and then we'll get right back into movies because I like that. The Wendy's Twitter account. I know I sent you this last night, but I just want to tell everybody. So the Wendy's Twitter account is very funny. And yesterday they posted that it was National Roast Day, and the former Christian metalcore band, now just metalcore band, Under Oath, tweeted, "Roast us." And Wendy's tweeted back, new shit sounds like my little brother learning to cuss for the first time. Murdered him. It's fucking hysterical to me that whoever runs the Wendy's Twitter account is deep enough into Under Oath lore to know that. That made me laugh really fucking hard. It's true. It's wildly accurate.
Anyways, so I'm like, I also like kind of do with movies, books, Mm-hmm. I'm not a big reader. Do you read books? Or are you just like
I listen to them.
Dude, I've been listening to books. I got like Audible.com. Like my library is not extensive, but it's I got some stuff in there. Obviously, a lot of Dune, but I'm taking a break from Dune just because it's getting really a lot of world building and a lot of politics, So I'm like, let me take a break from this for like a week or two. Got a good friend of mine, and he suggested a book called The North Water by Mcguire. It came out in 2016, and essentially this book is about, it takes place in the late 1800s. Almost and there's like kind of an air of like the turn of the times, like the industrial, like steam engines and stuff are on the verge, like the people are talking about them coming. So I'll give you an idea of what year it is. I don't know why I don't know what year that is. And so anyways,
I'm trying to have it pulled up so I can give you some info on it while you talk. It's sorry. Okay. You can talk now, and then I have the wiki if you have any questions.
So I'm not even finished with this story or at all, but dude, it is so captivating, and it is like one of the best stories that I've like been really excited to like really just listen to, get into.
What's it about?
So that's what I'm getting to. So essentially it's about a whaling ship called the Volunteer and the cast and crew that go upon it to go on this 6-month voyage to whale to collect blubbers in whales and from seals and whales and stuff to come back to obviously turn the blubber into oil and sell it, and that's how they make their living, right? Okay. So essentially it's Moby Dick kind of vibe, the super Moby Dick vibe, like through and through. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
True.
What? No, it's a novel.
True.
It's a novel.
Oh, okay.
And so no, it's not true. And so, or it could be. I don't know. I mean, it's not true. But it's super dialed in to like fact. You know what I mean? Like these aren't. It's like, what am I trying to say, Joel? Nonfiction?
It's an accurate representation of reality, but it's not. But it's a fiction book.
Jesus Christ! Yes.
A fiction book grounded in reality.
And I'm going to try not to spoil this whatsoever, but there are just things that you could even read in the synopsis that just kind of, because I really would love to hear about people like picking this book up. It's essentially, it follows a gentleman named Sumner, who is a surgeon, and old school surgeons essentially were old school doctors, and I mean, this is like hack your leg off because you have a fucking hangnail kind of doctor. You know what I mean?
You've got ghosts in your blood. Here's to have some heroin.
Yeah. And so it's a lot. So it follows this guy. He's an admirable character, but there's really no good guy in this book.
Sure.
Back in those days, I think it's like people had like moral standards, but being a good person, I think it was just kind of not in the cards. It was like you couldn't have, almost as if you couldn't afford to be one, because nice guys finish last or whatever. But at the same time, like you can't afford to do it. Like you have to survive. So sometimes you have to cut a corner or two for that survival. So it's like, in a weird way, it's, you want to be like no harm, no foul, but at the same time, a little bit of harm, no foul,
Sure.
And so, but anyway, so it's a bunch of these characters and stuff, but they do a really good show. Like for example, in Moby Dick, Captain Abraham is the interpretation of the devil, of pure evil, right? In this book, it kind of translates as well. Like there is a character that encapsulates pure evil, but this character is way more effed up than Ahab. I say Captain Abraham. Let's say Ahab.
Yeah, you did say Abraham, but yeah, Ahab. You're right. Yeah, I didn't even catch it, but I've got like I said, I got the wiki pulled up just so I could follow along if you had any questions. And the plot, I'm assuming the bad guy is Drax.
Yeah, Henry Drax.
Yeah, it has one sentence about him, and we can't even say it on the show.
And it is in the story. I almost had to stop listening to it. Like the guy who wrote it, it's like there's no pleasure in the writing, and he makes sure that there's no you know what I mean. And it's like he's a horrible person, and this book does not hold back whatsoever to let you know he's a bad dude, and it does such a good job of from the beginning being like, this is how bad this dude is. It's not like a rumor. It's like I'm gonna go ahead and create a scene that you have to get through the rest of the story. And it's like, and this scene is so complicated and so heart-wrenching and so hard to listen. It's like, he just established that Henry Drax, like I said, this is not a spoiler. This is something you'll just gather just simply by opening the first few pages. This dude, he establishes dude is like, there's no redeeming qualities to this person, this thing that happens to be a human, you know? And it's
Right,
like,
sure.
and just knowing that this character is along for this story makes it extremely unsettling, you know? So
Sure.
like, so every chapter, I would like to say every page you turn, but I'm listening to it. It is just full of adult anxiety because you feel like you're
dread.
yeah, because it feels like you're actually on this 6-month voyage with them. And that's another thing he did a good job. They took this character and put him on a voyage for 6 months in the North Oceans, in the Arctic circles, you know, and it's like, you're not going anywhere. Like you're with them. You know,
yeah,
and
you're
it's
trapped out here. Yeah,
and he's not a captain. He's a harpooner. So it's like, you know what I mean? He's just one amongst them, you know? So anyways, really good story. So, and with that said, I hope I didn't bore everybody out of this episode with this.
That's great.
So like I said, I want to give you more
fucking books.
Huh?
I said, yeah, people should read books. It's sad that we're like, sorry, we bored you talking about a book.
No, but the audiobook is so good. And the I can't remember the name. Jason Keating or something is the guy that reads it. Really great voice acting, and it's like really really get you going. But dude, anyways, I'm not finished with the book, but I came to find out that there's actually AMC put out a mini-series.
I was just about to tell you. Did you know this is a show?
Yeah, and it's like, so the novel came out in 2016. This miniseries just came out last year, and so it's five long episodes. I just want just to like dip my toe in the water, watch the very first episode because I'm like, I absolutely have to be beyond first episode amount of time. I'm halfway through the book, you know. So I say, I mean, sometimes interpretations when they get transitioned to screen are just lost entirely, or sometimes they're just rewritten to shit, you know. So I just wanted to know, and so. And Colin Farrell plays said Henry Drax, you know, and Colin Farrell, I like in everything essentially, but and he's only him, and then the dude that's in Snatch, that's like, yeah, I like Degs, I like Kevin Van Smol, that guy,
yeah,
whatever his name is, he's in it too, and I really like him. He plays Al Pacino in Boardwalk Empire. Yeah,
Stephen Graham, Jack O'Connell, one of those dudes.
Yeah, but he's great too. And they have the old poor man's workers accent, you know. They're like, you know, in all of the characters, they look, I don't know why, but it's like you can see all this. They just look like they're always in pain, you know, like old, like not pirates, but old like whalers and stuff. Like when you hear the Moby Dick stories and stuff, like when he shows them in characters, when you imagine them, they always look like they're just in pain. They're like, you know,
I just imagine they probably were always in pain. They were drinking like ether level alcohol,
just like
or ethanol, rather.
So, anyways,
wait. Well, let me ask you real quick. Does it? I mean, it clearly doesn't go as far as the book in some respects. I'm assuming, right?
No, I can't.
Okay.
It just can't. It's
right. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Even if it was a film, even if it was a full film,
yeah, I don't. Just based on that sentence I read, I don't see that happen in anything that Colin Farrell is in anytime soon, especially if it's Colin Farrell fucking doing it.
Yeah. And so if y'all can gather that this is pretty heavy stuff, and I'm not laughing or smiling at the story, it's just like,
no,
wow. It's like, this is,
it really goes there.
You got to be pretty bold to get through this book. Anyways. So I watched the first episode, and Joel, I don't know, what's that called? An adaptation? From a novel. The adaptation from in the first episode that I watched, I only watched one. Like I said, I want to finish the book before I keep going. If the other 4 episodes have anything to say about the first episode, or excuse me, other way around, if the first episode has anything to say about the last 4 episodes that I haven't watched yet, you got to read the book first, because or maybe you have to do what I'm doing at the same time, because I'm like just like in my seat. I'm like, it's like practically word for word.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and everything I imagined, it's like spot on, you know?
It has insanely good reviews.
It's like, dude, they did such a good job just in the first episode again, and from where I'm at in the book, like it's like this is the novel. It's crazy. I don't know if you have any I'll stop going on about that. I don't want to waste the whole
I'm looking to see where people can watch it so we can
AMC.
Yeah,
So-
but where the fuck do you watch AMC?
You can get I did the 7-day trial through Amazon Prime.
Oh, they have their own service.
Yeah, and so
Okay,
with that said, I won't bore you too much longer with this story, but it's so freaking good. And how often do I get excited about something like that? Other than
I love it. I love it.
But yeah, and so I'm really my dear friend Steven recommended it to me, and I'm like, dude, I am so thankful you gave me this freaking read, dude. It is very good.
Does the audiobook have how would I describe, like sound effects and stuff? Like, can you hear the ocean or like stuff like that? Because sometimes on Audible I'll play them and they're like super cinematic with like fucking background noise and like 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 you could hear the environment they're in, and I don't actually know if I like that or not.
No, but they're still very it's still very good. So.
Yeah, dude, I'm really, really into listening to Audible books. I think it's great, man. Like, and I never really know where to start because I'll often not really think about it when I'm at home, and then I'll get to work and be like listening to a podcast and like, I'd rather like listen to something more substantial. And I'll open Audible, and I usually go for like the comedian memoirs because they tend to read them themselves with like a lot of fucking pizzazz or whatever, but there's only so many times you can listen to that before you've heard like the same thing over and over again.
You remember when
I will definitely add that one to the list.
Babalu from the what's that show called?
Howard Stern?
Howard Stern show came out with his own book, and he did he read the audio for it, and freaking Howard would just would take clips from his audiobook and play them on the show and just go in on them about how bad it was. God, that's some of the funniest shit ever when it comes to those two.
I'm trying to find what that book was called, but that's a kid's book character too. Bullies beware, Babalu bounces back. Well, fuck yeah, dude. I'm glad you found something that you like. Dude, books are awesome. I just don't like to read them anymore because I'm too fucking conditioned not to read anymore. So but listening to him's really been slapping. I really like your shirt. Can you show us your shirt and tell us where you got it from?
It says Akira, and it's from Rucking Fountain. And it's
very nice.
It's all over print. Ugh. And the sleeves are pretty long, so I got to give it a good. I haven't washed it yet, so hopefully it tightens up a little bit. But yeah, I like it.
It's very, very pretty.
It has the city exploding underneath. This is the whole kaboomer, and then on the back it's essentially that, but it doesn't say Akira. It's like
just the mushroom cloud on the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I love it.
Yeah,
Here,
thanks, man.
I'm wearing this shirt. It's awesome, and you can buy it at a Moving Picture Shop. Be sure to add them on Instagram. Nice. It's me. It's a me. Moving Picture Shop.
That's pretty dope. What is that? Cable Guy?
No, it's the Table Guy. It's the sequel, The Table Guy. He just comes around. He's like, Table Guy. And he builds stuff from IKEA. Dude, okay. No spoilers. No spoilers. I saw Scream.
Okay.
It was fucking dope. But I think I'm probably going to be like, no, I don't know. I think it seems split between, it seems split in my circle of people, but my circle of people is not necessarily mainstream audiences. You know what I mean? Like when the people I'm talking to about it, I thought it was really fun. And I thought that there's zero way to make a sequel to a movie that started 30 years ago almost and have it be appealing to the target audience for a typical slasher movie. It just doesn't work. You know, like when we were kids, there was like still Halloween sequels and still Friday the 13th sequels, still Nightmare on Elm Street sequels, but they were always, I mean, those were continuing stories. You know what I mean? Like the movies were coming out every other year. And even when they started getting slower, it was still only like every 3 to 5 years between those movies. So like all through growing up in high school and shit, we had the same franchises, and Scream was one of them, but it's been a long time. It's been a really fucking long time. There are no more new Friday the 13th movies. The last time they tried to make a Nightmare movie, it was a reboot almost a decade ago, if not a decade ago, and it bombed completely. There's only been bad Texas Chainsaw. Yeah, my voice got all raspy. I just don't want to. I don't want to cough in the mic. So then there hasn't been a good Texas Chainsaw movie since the remake a remake. It just there hasn't been any of those. So these kids, Gen Z, dude, they don't fucking give a shit about those movies outside of the iconic nature of the character, right? It's like Halloween worked because it was huge. Like bringing back Jamie Lee Curtis, it works. It's huge. It's very hard to get kids to give a shit about Courtney Cox, David Arquette, and Neve Campbell. It's just, that's of a different time. Party of Five and Friends and all that shit. It's just such a different time than what they're in. And so I was pretty sure that the movie wasn't going to be very good, even though I really wanted it to be, because I was just like, how do you, like, kids are not going to care, but they're going to have to market it towards teens because that's who goes to these slashers.
Yeah,
but they did a really
horror films.
Exactly. But and that's what they were when we saw them. Those people were teenagers, and Courtney Cox played and David Arquette were the adults, but it's not. What's up?
I just wrote my review and I just wrote my review for Scream and I just ended up trashing Courtney Cox's performance way too hard, but it's okay.
Yeah, she wasn't bad. Or maybe she was. I don't know. Bye, Caroline. Thanks for stopping by. Caroline, everybody, my wife. So I was almost like certain that that they weren't going to play a very big part. And like, this isn't a spoiler. They don't play a very big part. They're in the movie a substantial amount, but like they're ancillary to the new teens. You know what I mean? They are very much there to help move the story along for us.
Yes.
Who grew up with it, and also to, I don't know. I just imagine teens watching this movie and really digging it, but not really understanding why we give a shit about these like parent age people in the movie. You know what I mean?
You're having issues not spoiling it and like still trying to give a good talking about it.
Talking about Scream movies, especially one that's this anticipated with such different demographics, because teens are excited for this because there's been 3 seasons of a TV show on MTV.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And like, and it's in that Dead by Daylight game. Ghostface is like one of the main characters. So it's likely going to make more than any of the others have made, even the first one on opening weekend, which is fucking crazy. The opening weekend predictions for it are higher than the entire total of Scream 4. That movie bombed, and I fucking hated it. This movie I thought was way better.
Right now, the one that just came out is like doing really well.
Yeah. It looks like it really is going to do well, and word of mouth seems to be well. Dude, and people were cheering in our theater last night, and it was like younger cats at the theater. It was like, high schoolers and shit, and they were fucking into it, dude. And I didn't realize this, but like, I know we were like probably obnoxious at movies and shit, but this wasn't like obnoxious. I think maybe Marvel has conditioned people to enjoy movies as a communal experience. People were cheering and clapping and like fucking laughing at the right moments. And then when it ended, we got up and left, and the entire theater stayed and sat in silence through the credits because Marvel has trained them to sit through credits. This is fucking mind-blowing to me.
What happened at the end?
Nothing. There was nothing because it's not a Marvel movie, but Marvel has trained people to not get, that's not the end of the movie. You watch the credits now.
Oh, dude,
which is wild to me.
We went to go see, what's that thing called? Spider-Man. Like we saw that end credit or whatever, and like we're getting up to go. Or we saw like the one clip in the middle of credits, and we're getting up to go, and so it's like, it's not the only one, there's more. So we're like standing around to watch the very, very end. I'm like, all right.
Fuck that. And they make their credits like 11 minutes long. Get fucked, man. I'm glad that all those people get recognition, but I'm not sitting in the theater to watch that shit.
Ghostbusters Afterlife did it too. If you watch the very, 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 very,
we didn't. I waited till I got home, and then someone DM'd me a video they took of it with their cell phone.
Dang. Yeah, and if anybody's wondering what it is, it's just a really big exposure that they're going to have a sequel, another one.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think it'd be fun. But yeah, so Scream, it was awesome, and no spoilers. Like, I do think though that like, dude, it kind of sucks to have to give, like, dude, I totally understand now, like, why my parents were just like, oh, they made another one when Halloween H2O came out. My mom was like, really? Jamie Lee Curtis came back it's been like 25 years. And that's exactly what this is. This is Halloween H2O. It's fucking Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox and David Arquette coming back 25 years later. But it fucking was good, dude. And I had a really good time with it. And I think If you're a fan of the movies, definitely watch it.
I was under the impression you didn't like it.
No, I liked it a whole bunch. Caroline was a lot more tepid on it than me, but I fucking hated the last one so much, and this one I felt like was so much closer in tone to the original, and so I just really liked it.
On a scale of 1 to, Joel liked it a whole bunch.
Yep, I did.
I did. Well, thanks for if you're stuck around this long to listen to mine and Joel's fucking reviews.
Now we can get back to crazy shit.
Yeah, let's get back to crazy shit.
I have something to tell you about.
Let's hear it.
So, I was watching. I follow this subreddit called Megalophobia, and it's like the fear. I guess that's like the fear of like big looming things, which I fucking really get uneasy. Like when I'm right underneath really big shit, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Like giant dicks.
I was thinking about it.
Just big dicks right there, you know. But no, like there used to be this giant nutcracker in Round Rock that they would put out at Christmas, and it was massive. You can go take pictures with it and shit. When I was a kid, me and my mom and my aunt went there, and I just remember it was like swaying in the wind kind of, and I was fucking terrified. My mom was like, sit on its shoe. And I was like, no. But we did it anyway. And that really freaked me out. So like, I was like, oh, this will be a cool subreddit to get into. Well, they talk about space sometimes on there, and that shit fucking is bonkers. So check that. Have you heard of Ton 618?
Ton?
No. Okay. It is a hyperluminous broad absorption line, radio loud quasar.
Okay.
Now that may sound like a bunch of bullshit, okay? But it is believed to be the active galactic nucleus at the center of our galaxy.
Okay.
It is so big. That you could set our entire galaxy in the lip of it. Okay?
The lip? Like a hoo-ha?
Yeah. You just right there in the middle. Like you could put our entire galaxy and it would barely be inside the thing. Okay? It is so fucking big. But if our galaxy was to ever what's the word where you get sucked into if our galaxy was to ever reach the singularity with that black hole, it would cause the mass of that black hole, which is so big you could just tuck our galaxy into it. It would change the.
Hold on. This Ton 39 is a black hole.
618, yeah, and it's a black hole. It's not. It's not a black hole. It has this black hole in it. It's that big. That's what I'm saying. This thing is so big. It has the most massive black hole we've ever found inside of it. Okay. If our galaxy was to reach the singularity with that black hole, it would cause the mass of Ton 618 to change so drastically and instantaneously that the mass of Ton 618 would become less than a third of what our galaxy is now. It would just vacuum swallow, suck everything up until there was less of it than there is now. After more things come together, it's so fucking bonkers. It's like time folds in on itself and it gets rid of mass. You shouldn't be able to get rid of mass, right? Mass expands and volume decreases, right? But does mass decrease? I don't think it's supposed to, right? Like the laws of physics.
Shit, dude, I have no idea. God bless, dude. What the fuck was that, man?
But like it's so okay because there's supermassive black holes, right?
Sure.
Okay, and then there's ultra massive black holes.
Oh, sure.
Okay, this one's so fucking crazy that they had to make a new one called most massive black hole, and it's this one.
It's just gonna keep happening. You know what I mean?
It's radio loud, so we can hear it.
What's James Webb going to do with all this information? You know what I mean? Like, how are we getting this fucking information out? By equations? I mean, I believe in science. I know it's there. I know it's real.
By quasars.
It's like, how do you know this? It's like, what are y'all looking at? You know?
You want to look at this foot. Hey, would you sell feet pics if you could?
Fuck yes.
Then why don't you?
The question is, would you let Caroline sell feet pics?
I mean, it's just her feet, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
One foot leads one foot in front of the other. One foot
leads to the other. That's fucking funny.
And one
That's
thing leads to
stupid and
another.
funny. I love it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we could use the money. So yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably, if Amanda told me she was selling feet pics, I'd probably be like, sure. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I mean,
just feet. It's not like a butthole test.
Yeah.
Or test.
If you know my test. Butthole. If Amanda's like literally sitting right here, I can see the back of her head. She's like, if Amanda is like, hey, I'm gonna start selling feet pics because we need the money, I bet, you know what? Sure.
At least they're not butthole tests.
Yeah, at least not butthole tests. And like 3 months later, she's like, remember when you brought up the butthole test? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I'd be like,
I did one.
Hey, we might need to reconsider this whole taking pictures of feet thing because it's getting out of hand.
Dude, what if you put... Okay, so like, because I asked, because, I mean...
Are you about to start selling feet pics? What's going on?
No. I mean, I would if I could. It appears to me that in reaching the true equality that we want, the progressiveness of our nation,
why is
the world?
Why is this whole conversation so delicate to you? You're like you're so soft spoken.
It's so sweet to me. I just feel like men are getting left behind in the ability to sell pictures of my feet and make money. And I just was wondering if you had any idea why my feet and your feet aren't as appealing as her feet or her feet.
So here's the thing about
what is wrong with my feet?
I have no idea. It's like if you're into feet, yeah, why aren't you into my feet?
When's it gonna be my turn?
So it's like I don't know. I'm not into feet. I mean, but I also don't get grossed out by feet. But I don't get turned on by feet.
I don't get turned on or grossed out.
I don't think it's exactly. I don't.
Same.
I could see somebody being like, I just like the shape of feet. I like pretty feet. So I mean, I don't know.
So I want to put my dick in between them.
I don't think anybody's like.
That's a leap.
Yeah, that's a big leap. I don't know if it's like.
A nice foot. Can I fuck it? I just have never made that.
Grossest, corny, bunion-ridden foot.
Why do I look so fucking skinny?
I like fungus infection. I don't know if that's a fetish.
Has to be.
So you have to get it.
Has to be. It
watch this.
Has to be.
Watch this. Watch this.
Watch this. Watch this.
Yeah.
I forgot I could do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
my bad, listeners.
Dude, seriously, you're gonna listen back to this episode. Like,
hey, why don't you go?
Why don't you go ahead and asshole? Asshole.
I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna.
Joel, just so you know,
what are you gonna do about that?
Most people are listening to this. They don't understand what's going on.
No way, bro. 101 combined views. 101 combined views on 100 videos on YouTube says different, bro. How's everybody doing out there today? By the way, Happy New Year. Have we seen you guys this New Year? We have, right?
Oh yeah, we've had episode. I think.
Oh yeah, we've had episode.
Yeah, Happy New Year again to whoever's kept listening to now. But anyways, so I mean, if you really took the initiative to take this YouTube channel to the next step, Joel, I think we would actually be okay. But you're gonna have to do that.
Yeah, I could see it being me.
You're like, oh yeah, let's. Hey, if I were to
fucking choke.
You want to go to see Soulfly in Fort Worth?
Not really, bro.
Why not?
I don't fucking like Soulfly.
You told me you've never even heard a song by them.
I know, but I've seen all the stupid shirts and the way they look like Shaolin writing and shit. Like, I don't know, man.
Shaolin writing?
Yeah, it's like Wu-Tang font.
Shaolin writing?
That's like the Wu-Tang font.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The way the letters look?
And they invented
I just
Soulfly.
always really fucking hated their art, to be honest. Like the cover art and the shirts that always just had the cover art on it.
Whatever, dude.
Tell us your favorite Soulfly song.
Eye for an Eye.
Let's see what the number one song is. Soulfly. Oh yeah, man, with sick ass albums like Primitive, and Prophecy, and Ritual, and
that's cool.
3, and an album called 3.
Well, you know, the lead singer of the band is Max Cavalera, who was him and his brother were founding members of Sepultura.
And he plays the sitar in Soulfly, right?
He plays guitar.
Oh, that says he plays the sitar.
Might. I mean,
he's literally not listed as a guitar player for this band. He's listed as Max Cavalera, sitar player of Soulfly. I'm looking at his thing right now. It doesn't say anything. Does he sing it in it too?
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about him singing or playing guitar. It literally lists him as the sitar player.
Oh, shit. Anyways. Well, I guess all right, never mind. We won't go.
I mean, so like, if you were like, hey, do you want to go to the Thursday Cursive show? You'd have a much better shot. I think it might be sold out now. Let's find out right now. Thursday and hey, do you guys like Thursday and Cursive? What's your favorite Thursday song? What's your favorite Cursive song? The other night, yesterday to be exact, I was listening to Full Collapse, the first Thursday record, and I was just really enjoying it. Let's see here. Here's the tickets, Doug. We're gonna find out right now if we're gonna go together. Where do I live? Oh yeah.
What's your address again?
Thursday, March 10th. Okay.
Oh, Thursday. Thursday? That's fine.
Yep. Tickets start at $35. That's about right. Get tickets. Now see what happens next. Oh, nope. It wants to access somebody's Facebook, and that somebody was not me. So we'll look at it later.
Somebody's Facebook?
Faithbook. It's a Jesus-centric dating app. Faithbook.
How come like faith has become like hand in hand with Christianity? Like you don't have to have, you know, it's like, oh, you gotta have I have faith means like you're like
what? But why is it being conflated with Christianity?
Conflated? I don't know. It just feels like when people like where it's like
because people say like faith based.
Yeah, or they're like but you said faith based like Facebook. It's like all I think about is like
Christians, because Christians are the only ones dumb enough in America because they're the only ones dumb enough in America to think that they can just I don't know, man. Yeah, it feels a little bit like maybe American Christians use the word faith exclusively, but they don't own the rights to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't own the right to the word faith.
Jesus does. Christ.
Yeah, Jesus owns that word.
Jesus Christ.
Have you ever met anybody else with that actual last name Christ? And also, where did Christ, like, you know what I mean? Is that his last name or is his name? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was his last name. No, I get what you mean. Because was her name Mary Christ and Joseph Christ?
Like Jesus is the first person in human history to have a last name.
Wasn't his name like Christus?
Christus?
Christus. Let's find out. What was Jesus' last name?
I don't know. I thought his last name was Nazareth.
What was Jesus' last name? Did Jesus have a last name? Jesus' last name was not Christ. It's the very first sentence. Yeah, it's of Nazareth. Yeah, you're right. No, let's see. Okay. Well, here's why. People in the Bible, and I wonder if this goes back like, yeah, I bet this, I never really thought about this, but this makes sense. Nobody had last names back then. You had a lineage. Yeah, you had a lineage. Like I'm Abraham of Sitar, of Melvadu, of Bartha, of Martha, of Margaret.
There goes that Sitar again.
I don't really know how to play it, so I'm going to do everything with it.
You're like walking around the Sitar, be like, what the fuck? What is that? What does Gurney Gurney Malik play in Dune? He plays a balisette. That's what I imagine you playing a sitar would be like, a balisette.
I do have a melodica. but it's really hard because the tube falls out when you have it in your mouth if you don't hold it. So like you can't really, because it'll just fall out and you'll be blowing air.
Anyway, so last names. Do you want to keep on going with the last names? What?
Oh no, I just don't think. I think Martha, Margaret, Barbara.
Last names are pretty interesting. I guess it's like more of a modern man thing.
When did last names? Fuck me.
The way you type sounds like you're trying to fucking punch holes through your damn desk.
When did last names get invented? Family names came into use in the later Middle Ages, beginning roughly in the 11th century. The process was completed by the end of the 16th century. So it took fucking long as a century, 100 years?
And what do you mean it ended?
Well, hold on.
Take it easy on that keyboard, dude. How many keyboards do you go through in a year?
This is the same one we had last year. Just let me answer that honestly. Centuries are 100 years. So you're telling me it took 500 years for people to understand the concept of last names? That's what that sentence said. It said in the 11th century, they were like, you know what? This would be a lot easier if we could group all of you guys who were born by the same family together. And it took 500 fucking years for people to be like, oh yeah, I get that.
It's like the freaking it's like the data collecting of the 11th century. I'm not gonna let you give me a fucking other name. I'm not telling you who my mom was. What the fuck? What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, what
the fuck is the internet?
Yeah, it's like this is a problem. This is encroaching on my privacy. What is
encroaching? Sounds right. You could have said infringing, but encroaching is nice, especially for us Americans.
But
we like to watch the old National Football League.
But it is the 11th century, so they're probably like, you're encroaching on my privacy. And they're like, what the fuck is encroaching?
They're probably like, what the fuck is privacy? What the fuck is this language? They were probably like,
like you're
probably all sounded like the aliens from Mars attacks.
You are owned by the king.
And they don't even know who the king is. They think it's some cat they found.
Dude, that's crazy. Like, you just think back in the day. I mean, obviously, like, I've never met a president in real life, but I know what they look like.
You didn't meet George W. Bush when he came to Cuero, Texas, and met literally everyone I know?
I guess I'm the one person.
You're the only Cuero person I know who doesn't claim to have met him when that happened.
I just must have been somewhere else, Joel. No, I did not meet George W. Bush in Cuero. I assure you.
But let's be real here, though. Everybody in Cuero claimed to have met him when he came through after the flood. Everybody.
I don't know he came through, but also
he came through. He came through.
He came through, dude. And also he was the
governor at the time.
And
I know.
Yes, I never met him at that time. And then also I did meet Ross Perot at a funeral.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
To flick his ear?
Yeah.
You did? His ear? You fucked his ear? I said you flick his ear. You sick fuck.
No, I did not flick his ear. I was an altar boy.
Dude, just
excuse me. Acolyte.
Stupid.
Right.
Nothing.
What, are you gonna say something terrible about altar boys?
I don't know anything terrible about altar boys. I've never. Hey! I just want to clear up right now. I've never heard any rumors about the Catholic Church in any capacity. Not a single one. Their hands are clean.
Yeah, that's what the Holy
Clean hands, baby. Clean hands, clean hearts. I wasn't even going to say anything about Catholic. I was just joking. What was I fucking going to say?
One time I was in confession when I was like 8 years old, and I was talking to Father Georgie about all my sins. And my brother, and my brother was in the other confessional on the other side. So essentially, there's two confessionals, and he sits in the middle. So if you're in there, you can hear the other person's confession, you know? And so
I didn't realize that.
I went first. My brother was in the other one, and I started saying everything. And Father Georgie, this old Italian man, is like, you have many demons inside of your soul. And I just hear my brother, and I just burst out laughing. I was like terrified. I was like 8 years old.
Yeah, that's not very nice. Come on, Father Georgie.
I didn't even say anything that bad.
Father, I killed a man. I shot a man, Father. I have a question for you.
Father. this gun. He's like,
I have a question for you.
What?
If you could go back in time to kill Hitler, do you do it? And how do you do it?
I don't know.
Because let's be clear here. If you go back in time and you kill Hitler before he has the chance to do any of the things he did, you just murdered a leader. And now you're stuck in the past and you've murdered the leader of this country. What happens next?
You prevent the Holocaust?
But at the cost of you going to prison forever.
Yeah, Joel, that's an easy sacrifice to make on that.
No, I heard that on one of the podcasts I listened to. I heard him talking about like what the actual ramifications of going back in time and changing anything were. And that's, I guess, the most complex one. The second most complex one was how do you stop 9/11? Because you can't. Like you're just some crazy dude. Because it's the 2000s. So you're just some crazy dude in a voice of a bunch of crazy dudes screaming about government conspiracies.
Yeah.
You know?
Great.
I don't know. It's just very strange. There really, you can't. It was the butterfly effect. How did this get made? When they were talking about, could you actually change anything?
Yes. If I was approached by some fucking weird sect of the government, and like, hey, we need to send you back in time to kill Hitler.
You're the only one, Doug, who could do this.
Yeah, Doug, you're the only one who can do this. I'll be like, with all the information that you have provided me, with everything that Hitler has done, looking at the file, I guess I could probably justify going back there and doing this. And they'd be like, this is the first time you heard of Hitler? I'm like, well.
Yeah, before today, I gotta be honest.
But here's the thing. They send you back. You're supposed to they're telling you. So you're under the impression you're getting sent to why he's a super bad guy and you're gonna kill him, right? But they send you back and he's like 8 years old. He's like, hello, mommy, I want to be an artist.
My name is Adolf, and I want to be a painter.
And you're a grown fucking man wearing a Kira shirt in 1922 or 1911. And you're like, what the fuck? I have to kill a kid? That's the catch.
I just want to be a painter.
Yeah, it's like, when I grow up, I want to be a painter. I love everybody. That's the catch. You have to kill him as a child.
Like a Kira shirt just shot a fucking kid.
And the reason that you kill him as a kid is because it's gonna be like why are you thinking about it? And you're like, well, it's like the only way to do it without any. It's more of a 100% succession rate if you go to his poor home when he's a child and do this, than going into a fortress and doing it when he's protected.
What if they send you back and you get there and you're looking everywhere for him and you can't find him anywhere and you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then you walk in the room and his mom is pregnant with him.
I don't know. His mom
just kill her. It's way easier because she's not a kid.
All right, just anybody tuning in now and all the algorithms. Just to remind you, we're talking about killing Hitler, not any random pregnant.
Are we though, Doug?
Yeah.
Hey,
would you kill 8-year-old Hitler? That's the question.
Would I what?
Kill 8-year-old Hitler.
Oh, I'd kill 1-year-old Hitler. What if they were just like, hey, we sent you back? What if they tell you got to go back in time to do something really important like kill Hitler, but then you get there and you realize you're just at one of the dudes who sent you back in time's house like 2 weeks ago and he needs you to go hide his cum sock.
What the fuck?
You're like, where's Hitler? They're like, sir, it's 2021, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's January 1st. It's January 2nd, 2022. It's like, what?
Hide that cum sock that Mark left here last week.
Hey, dude. So speaking of last names, Hitler, the last name Hitler, it didn't take 100 years to that get wiped off the map. That's like not a last name at all anymore.
The craziest shit is I've heard of people with kids named Adolf, and I'm like, you gotta give pause to it. Like, I hate to judge people, but like, it feels like you shouldn't name your kid Adolf, or you shouldn't name anything Adolf.
You name that baby Adolf?
Did you say his name? I'm sorry. Did you say Adolf?
Yeah. How old is he? 6 months? Adolf?
That's what you guys are gonna go with Adolf? I mean, but honestly, like, I don't think even if he had been a good guy, I don't think anybody would be naming their kid Adolf right now. That feels like it would have gone the same way as like Ruth. Or like
Adolf Hitler is like, and like you feel like Adolf Hitler is a name that strikes horrid fear into one's heart. You know what I mean? It just even if he didn't,
but even if he didn't exist, I don't think people would name their kids that anymore anyway.
Like if you think of like Ed Kempen, it's like sounds like a regular guy.
You mean Ed Kemp?
Yeah, but
You mean Ed Kemp, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Whatever.
I was just like, oh no, I'm sorry, dude. I'm an idiot. It's Ed Kemper. My bad, dude. No, you were totally right. I'm a fucking dickhead for that.
So, anyways, and so that's the regular name. Jeffrey Dahmer kind of strikes fear, but I mean, I feel like Gacy, Ted Cruz, Ted Bundy. So yeah, those are pretty terrifying names because we associate with what they became.
Jesus Christ.
Sure, but Adolf Hitler, it's like if you're like, hey, this dude's named Adolf Hitler, and like you're like, what? Like I don't know, and like you didn't, and they didn't have any association with it. It
is a weird sounding name. It sounds weird. It's kind of sharp. Like, what if they're like, son, you've got to go back to time to kill Hitler, but then they send you back too far, and they're like, well, we could kill two birds with one stone, and you get there and you're supposed to kill Christ. you open your eyes, everybody's going, crucify him, and you're like, no, I don't think this is a good idea. But then you look in your Pontius Pilate.
And they're like, hey, by the way, that's Hitler's great grandpa. So
Christ. What a twist. The Christians are gonna the American Christians are gonna love that.
They're gonna love it. Yeah. Anyways, it's all in good fun.
Oh, hey! If you've enjoyed this episode, do me a huge favor and click up here to watch last week's episode.
Yeah, if you click right here above me, you can subscribe to our channel and go and listen to us on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple, and everything else. Anyways, thanks a lot for everything.
Bye.
Bye.